Eeyore, the old grey donkey, woke up feeling glum. It was a Thursday. He didn't like Thursdays. Thursdays always seemed gloomy. Nobody cares about a gloomy donkey, he sighed. He dragged his hooves through the 100-acre wood, his tail drooping behind him.
Eeyore wished something exciting would happen, maybe something to cheer him up, but he doubted it.
Suddenly he heard a giggle. It was a sound that was quite unfamiliar to him, a sound that seemed to carry a sense of joy and lightness that he rarely encountered in his daily life. Eeyore lifted his head, surprised. Could it be? Was someone laughing? He couldn't remember the last time he had heard such a cheerful noise in the 100-acre wood. His ears twitched as he tried to locate the source of the laughter. He peeked through the trees, his curiosity piqued. The sound was coming from somewhere nearby, and he felt an unusual sense of excitement building up inside him. What could it be? Who could it be?
A young girl with bright eyes and bouncy curls was playing by the river. She seemed to be having the time of her life, splashing water and chasing butterflies. Her laughter was infectious, filling the air with a sense of happiness and wonder. "Hello," she called out to Eeyore. "My name is Isabella. What's yours?" Her voice was sweet and melodic, and it made Eeyore feel a warmth he hadn't felt in a long time. She waved at him enthusiastically, her smile as bright as the sun.
Eeyore was surprised. He had never seen anyone like her in the 100-acre wood before. Her energy and joy were something entirely new to him, and he found himself feeling a bit shy. Nobody had ever asked him his name before. "Eeyore," he mumbled. He wasn't used to such direct and friendly interactions, but there was something about Isabella that made him feel at ease. Maybe, just maybe, this was the beginning of a new friendship.
Isabella skipped over to Eeyore, her heart light and her steps even lighter. She had always loved animals, but there was something special about donkeys that made her smile. Today she was especially excited because she had a little surprise for Eeyore. "What a lovely name," she said, her voice filled with genuine admiration. She had always thought Eeyore was a unique name, and it suited the gentle donkey perfectly. "I've never met a donkey before," she continued, her eyes wide with wonder. She had read about donkeys in books and seen them in pictures, but meeting one in person was a whole new experience. She held out a small bunch of dandelions, their bright yellow petals glowing in the sunlight. "These are for you," she said, her voice soft and kind. She had picked them herself, thinking they would be the perfect gift.
Eeyore stared at the dandelions, his eyes wide with surprise. He had never seen such bright and cheerful flowers before, and he couldn't believe they were for him. They were bright yellow, just like the sun, and they seemed to radiate warmth and happiness. Eeyore couldn't help but feel a little bit of that warmth seep into his heart. "For me?" he asked, his ears twitching with curiosity. He had never received a gift before, and he wasn't sure how to react. But the look in Isabella's eyes told him that this was a special moment.
"Of course," Isabella chirped, her voice filled with joy. She loved making others happy, and she could see that Eeyore needed a little bit of cheering up. "Because you look like you could use some cheering up," she added, her voice softening. She had noticed that Eeyore often looked a little sad, and she wanted to do something to make him smile.
Eeyore gently took the dandelions, his heart swelling with gratitude. He had never received a gift before, and he was touched by Isabella's kindness. He had never received a gift before, and he couldn't believe that someone had thought of him. As he looked at the bright yellow flowers, he felt a warmth in his heart that he hadn't felt in a long time. It was a simple gift, but it meant the world to him.
"Come play with me, it'll be so much fun, I promise,"
Isabella exclaimed with a bright smile, grabbing Eeyore's hoof and pulling him towards the river with an infectious enthusiasm that Eeyore couldn't resist. A giggle escaped Eeyore's lips before he could stop it. It was a sound he hadn't heard from himself in a very long time. He hadn't giggled in years. The simple joy of being with a friend was something he had almost forgotten. They spent the afternoon tossing pebbles into the river, watching the ripples spread out, and lying on the grass, watching the clouds drift by in the clear blue sky. Isabella told Eeyore stories about her life in the village, her adventures, and the friends she had made. She spoke with such passion and excitement that Eeyore couldn't help but be drawn in. Eeyore found himself actually listening, not just hearing the words, but feeling the emotions behind them. It was a new experience for him, one that he found surprisingly pleasant. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the river, Eeyore realized that he had spent the entire day smiling and laughing. It was a day he would cherish forever. They walked back to the village together, the sky painted with hues of orange and pink, feeling a sense of contentment and happiness that only comes from spending time with a true friend. As the sun began to set, it was time for Isabella to go home.
Thank you for playing with me, Eeyore. You're a wonderful friend.
Eeyore felt a warmth spread through his chest. A friend? He was someone's friend. Eeyore watched Isabella skip back towards the village, clutching her bunch of dandelions. He looked down at his own bunch, their yellow petals glowing in the fading light.
Maybe Thursdays weren't so gloomy after all.
Eeyore smiled. It was a good day to be Eeyore. In fact, it was one of his happiest days ever.